You ready? Tails wagging. We're good to go. Yes.
Yes.
The man, the legend.
What's up?
Dude, how are you?
It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you. This is great because this is the first time that we've ever chatted at all, like actually had a conversation in front of each other. But we've had many Instagram just going back and forth on a bunch of stuff, obviously because our names are extremely similar.
Yeah, you know, I was for a while there. I became a country music star. I look at my Twitter. I'm like, oh my god, dude! I won all these awards. I'm doing so good.
Awesome. I'm doing so good. I'm not even trying. That's so great. I mean,
they mixed
so
our
crazy.
names up. They would make because everyone would put the W instead of the V, and then you were telling me you got messages about ghosts, and that's how we became friends.
Oh man, it's so crazy. You know, I mean, we could probably sit here and talk all day about all the different messages that we've got. I'm just so excited to actually have a reason to chat with you today. We have this new single out called Every Time You Take Your Time, so we're doing Take Your Time interviews. We started having conversations because you started getting messages about like, hey, why'd you write this song? And then I would be getting messages from fans that were like, so I have a question for you. What does water mean in paranormal activity? I had this question and I was so thrown off by it. I was like, water? What is water? Like, what is water? I guess the, you know, it has to do with when you're talking about spirits and, obviously Aaron Goodwin from Ghost Adventures on the Travel Channel with us today. I'm horrible at introducing.
No, you're fine.
but go because I had this question and I was so confused. I couldn't understand why I got it, but it was like, what does water mean in like paranormal activity or spirit? Just in case I get asked again.
Okay, so if you get asked again, it has to do with like the current and the energy of the water and like everything that flows around it. And for some reason, there's theories that ghosts can't cross water, so they stay on the land, or ghosts can be in water and they come from certain spots. There's so many theories about it. So it's kind of a conductor in a way. Because when it's weird. Like most everything, but for some reason around water, it just causes this flow of energy.
Huh.
Yeah,
that is so interesting. Well, next time I get that question,
an episode that was talking about it, and then they messaged you to it, like
right? Yeah. Well, honestly, like let's look at all the similarities because it's not just physical appearance and name, ladies and gentlemen. I am just as bald as Aaron GoodWIN.
We're twinsies.
We twinsies. But like your girlfriend or fiance, sorry. Her name is Victoria, I understand.
Dude. She just went like this.
Dude, it is so wild.
Isn't that wild? When I
told
her, I was like, I looked at it, I was like, what are the odds? And then I came in and told her, and she's like, whoa, that's crazy.
So weird. And like, we just have all these weird similarities.
It's pretty cool.
Where are you? So it is so cool. Where are you from? Like what?
I'm from Oregon. And then then moved to Vegas, and then
Oregon's pretty close to Canada, you know.
Yeah. You're Canadian, right?
I am. I was born in like super far north, in Alberta, Canada, a place called Spirit River, which was another thing I thought of, which is crazy. You're a Ghost Adventure guy. I was born in Spirit River. I mean, there's a million of them. We could just keep going.
What is it called when you have your side and then the opposite of you is somewhere else? What is that?
like your other reality or your
or like or something. Yeah, I'm all dark and scary, and you're all like awesome and cool and playing music and like,
dude, I love it.
In the woods, I'm in the scary spots. Like,
oh man, it's so funny. Well, hey, I have to say that sorry, I have to yell at my dog. I apologize. Okay. Telly, get down. She's got this new thing where she likes to eat the bird seed out of the bird feeder. I've recently got a bird feeder.
Like the squirrels do?
Yeah. She's like that. She eats everything. It's crazy. Anyway, I've got into all these different podcasts lately. And one of the things so I've been listening to these crime junkie podcasts. So because
you like crime shows.
Yeah, like I recently, it started for me. I got into I got like into just like regular cop or crime shows or like Criminal Minds or stuff like that, and I watched all of the. My wife hates
My
all of
girl,
them. She does.
okay, real quick, I gotta stop you because I don't like that stuff. But my fiance, she just raised her hand.
She's like, woo!
She's like, yeah, crime shows. So like, she loves crime shows. You do. Your girl hates it. So do I. But like,
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's so good.
Just not learning, but watching. And I'm like, oh my god, I never would have watched it.
Right? Yeah, yeah. Well, I got into that, and then it slowly, like now, I'm totally if I had a guilty pleasure, I spent a lot of time on the road, obviously, like you guys. And hey, I'm on an interview here. Hey, sorry, it's never a dull moment here.
That's awesome.
I literally have interviews full of dogs barking. That's all that's happening. So I got into that, and then now I'm into these crime junkie podcast things. And when you so I knew I was gonna actually interview you, and I get so busy that I just don't do things. And then I was like, I need to watch some of your shows before I interview, so I got a feel for like what it is that you do. And so I had asked you, like, send me like what are a couple of ones but as I was scrolling through on all the different episodes, I came across this Lizzie Borden episode, which I think was probably a long time. Was it long? How long ago was that? Was that
6-7 years ago, probably?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, when I watched it, it felt like it was like a decade ago, almost. Like, but I was super into it because I had just listened to the actual podcast about talking about all of the stuff that happened on that murder trial and how she was blamed and all this stuff. But then I watched your episode, and it never occurred to me that I was like, oh, there might be like a crazy curse in that house.
Oh yeah. Oh,
it didn't even occur to me that would be like something that would like coax somebody into like killing their family.
Think about all these crime shows you watch. So, like someone got murdered at their apartment or something crazy like that. They might still be there haunting it because they weren't ready to go. So crime shows are really just more evidence of there could be a spirit at that spot.
Totally. And which is something that is like, now I'm in this whole new world. I'm going to watch every episode. Thank God you're on season 985 because I'm going to watch all of them. I feel like there's so many shows that you guys have done. Like, so how long has the show Ghost Adventures been on the air, and how long have you guys been doing this whole thing?
2004, 2005, we did a documentary. Caught some incredible evidence to the point where it made news everywhere. Mm-hmm. And then Travel Channel picked us up in 2008, and then we've been going strong since.
Dang, that is crazy.
Yeah, we've done so many investigations, and they're so scary. So it's crazy, dude. It's like crazy to think that we'd be doing it this long.
And still just so obviously so incredibly like into it. Like you guys, I know some of the episodes that you told me to watch, which were crazy. Like I'm totally in, man. I'm totally like 100% like, oh, this is a real thing. And just recently I probably sent you a message, which is totally cheating. Like not everybody can, become a famous country singer and just message somebody who has a very similar name and ask questions about like orbs and stuff like this. But because my wife is still watching Disney movies. That's all she really, and we're also huge Disney fans. Like, right. And we're all going to Disney at some point. It's going to be awesome.
The whole thing is clear. We can go. Let's do it.
People will be like, oh, so like people will think it's a family trip, and we'll be like, no, we're actually not brothers. We're friends. But our names are very similar. But yeah, so my wife's just totally not into any of that stuff. And I totally lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that?
Oh no,
totally just disappeared.
We might be the same person. That happens to me all the time.
I love it so much.
You're talking about the orbs and how you're.
Oh yeah. So my friend, right? So my cousin, now my wife's cousin Savannah, we went to Wilmington, to a wedding. I believe. Yeah, we went to a wedding in Wilmington, and we had our like on my wife's side of the family, her cousins like came out, we took a trip. We were like, went to Wilmington and we did this ghost tour, which I was kind of like, it was kind of annoying because it just told you stories about ghosts and we walked around town. Like it wasn't like
a bunch. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they, and I was like, I paid how much for this? But one thing that was super interesting was like, we found out that there was like all these certain orbs. If you took videos, you could, so I think I sent you video because Savannah was asking me.
Oh yeah. Like, this one with the door slamming in the,
yeah.
Right. Was it the garage?
I can't remember now. Anyway, long story short, obviously I was like, oh, I'm just like texting you and they're like, oh, help me out with this. Is this a real thing? And I was asking you about, or I don't even know if I did that or not, but I wanted to, and I didn't, but no, it's like, I'm so into it now that I've watched a couple, and I think those 2 episodes that you gave me, the Wolfman's Bridge, is that what it's called?
Goatman's Bridge.
Goatman's Bridge, and Stone
Line Inn.
Dude, that stuff is so wild. If you've never seen Ghost Adventures before, go watch those 2 episodes. Yeah. You'll be totally hooked. Oh, it was so good, man. I know, but I'm such a fan. Like, I'm a fan of your work. I think, is it Zach?
Yeah.
I mean, that guy is so intense.
Oh yeah. Well, he's the team leader, and
but is he like that in real life? Like, is that his?
Oh yeah, he's intense. Oh no, he's also fun and like.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like when it's ghost hunting time, it's right. We get roads, and so it's like bam, it's
that
cool.
Is so amazing, so cool. Well, I love how you have all the cameras set up. You literally leave no chance of, because I'm sure there are skeptics out there that don't believe or or think that things are staged and things are, but like the way you guys do the work and set it all up is super cool, and just leaving no doubt that something is happening. This is a weird, ghost thing. Totally cool, man. I was totally, I'm a big fan. Now I can say I'm a fan of your work when before it was just like, I just didn't really know a lot about it. And like I say, I saw the Lizzie Borden thing because I just listened to the podcast. I watched that one and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I watched those 2 episodes, and I slept just fine, ladies and gentlemen. I did not. Yeah, I did not like totally, but I am starting to have some strange dreams, but it's fine. We're going to get through that. It's going to be all good.
That's awesome. I'll take you ghost hunting sometime, and then you'll crap your pants and like really.
Dude, you know what? I honestly, I don't know that I could handle it. Like watching you guys go through it.
To watch it than do it, because there's a lot of crazy stuff that can happen.
Yeah. I mean, that Goatman's Bridge thing, I would have stopped at Spider on the neck and been like, cool, have fun, awesome, I'm out.
Well,
you guys rock.
There's I think they're called, there's these snakes, and like if they bite you, you have 10 minutes to live, kind of thing. Like you're done, and like that forest was covered, so we had snake shields and all that, but still they jump up and get your leg, But you could just, while we were hunting, you could just hear them go by your feet. It was just like,
oh God, no.
Yeah, so everyone was like, we're not close to a hospital, so they're like, we had to make a decision. So let's go. You won't get to the hospital in time. So I made my peace. If it happens, I'm going to just relax and try to meditate my way out of it. And just go, because there's no other choice. So that fear factor on its own, and the spirits and all the stuff that happens there, dude.
I love it. Yeah, we had a snake in our house, and a lot of people, we actually have a strange smell coming out of the room upstairs, which Dad and I are convinced is probably a dead animal. Snake. Yeah.
Dead snake, yeah.
Because, what happened was this snake had found, we were doing renovations. Dad went home because COVID happened, and there's like 6 months of like just open holes and cracks and just all over our house. And so one day I walked in to the house, and I'm looking over right by the stove, or the hood range. There's like, it looked like my wife like hung a belt up there. Like, that's what it looked like. I was like, why
Yeah.
would she hang a belt on the hood? I mean, that seems really dumb, but I'm not going to ask any questions or whatever. But I'm sort of just like, I'm sure she has her reasons. I don't want to get in a fight. And so I'm standing there and I'm just kind of staring at the wall. And I'm like, and it's not moving, like nothing. I'm like, this is so weird. And then I went, babe, what? Like, what? I did that. And she was like, dropped her fork she was eating. She freaked out. She was like, that's a snake. It moved all the way down. We jumped outside. This is why I'd not be good on any kind of show result, like getting scared. I'm like, I'll make up stories in my mind that are unbelievable. And so we closed the door. We're outside. We're watching this snake. We have like 12-footed glass out front of our house. So we were like standing outside. We closed the door, watching the snake go down all across our countertops, down behind the fridge, around. And then because we were renovating, I had at the underneath the cupboards that we just installed, the cabinets, there's a little piece that there's where a vent was coming up before that was wide open, was now covered by our cabinets. And so we left that vent there. I totally forgot about it. It had come around our whole place, went back down around and underneath the cabinets. And I was like, man, it's been under there for a long time. I was like, yeah, that's weird. So I opened the door and I like laid down to check. I know. And well, we posted this on our Instagram stories, and it was much more famous than I have ever been in my entire life. This one snake. And I'm looking and I was like, oh, like literally I was like, there's a vent under there. I had totally forgot about it. It was a wide open vent. We didn't have it covered or anything. So we looked and that snake had went down into there. Well, as soon as it went into there, I made sure every other vent in the house was taped and like nailed down. And now we have this strange smell. So we're pretty convinced that there's a good chance it might be that snake. It might have went up into because once it gets in there, it's not getting out again.
Yeah.
Like there's nowhere for it to go. So,
oh man.
Yeah. So
flashlight.
Oh my God. We called this guy. He came over. He loves snakes. We're like, you're weird. He came in. We paid him $250. We never caught the snake. It's very sad.
Oh, so it's still there.
What is something that you wish you could have more time to take more time with? Like something that you don't currently get to spend as much. I mean, it's probably a dumb question because we're in the middle of quarantine. Yeah.
Writing, because like you probably know, to sit down and write, it takes half a day prep. You know what I mean? Like, because you're like, okay,
right.
Here, I'm finally into it, and then like,
right.
Then that basically, I write.
What kind of writing do you do?
We've just been like writing cool shows. Like,
oh, so yeah, tell me a little bit more about that. Like how the shows come and so you say that you're
just TV shows themselves. We're trying to put out a bunch of new TV. We got like 5 cool shows that we're gonna like pitch eventually, and then so those kind of things.
So cool.
But with our shows, we know we have a few interview people, and then we usually find people. Well, our shows really, we get there, we know we're interviewing a few people, and then we find other interviews, and it's never a plan. It's just, here's what we're doing, and then we take gear out, and during the interviews, it could spawn to a whole new other direction of what we're doing now or asking. So we really don't know, which is so fun because it's like we're really going there, and who knows what's going to happen. And that's the best part. And that's one reason I love it so much. And then we learn awesome history. And then while we're learning it, we're like, what the hell? Like, no way. Like, I don't ever.
Right. It's all authentic. Yeah. Yeah. Authentic. Yeah.
We just know we're going to hunt these 3 areas or these areas. And we know we're going to try to communicate with these spirits. And then something else happens and a whole new spirit shows up. It's just weird. It's awesome. But
it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
So you also, in addition to Ghost Adventures, and you're also like, what would you kind of like, what is your job title? Like, what would you say your job description is? Like, so you write for other shows? Like what?
No,
what?
I'm just trying to me and my woman, my lady.
Yeah. My lady friend. We've been basically since COVID and a little bit before have been just coming up with cool TV show ideas, not like reality show, like, right.
Or something.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah, so we've been kind of dibbling into all kinds of ideas, and so not ghost related, just other shows.
Right. Just
And
other
so,
shows. That's awesome.
yeah, we've done 5 so far. Like 2 of them are pretty well written all the way, but the rest aren't. So I wish I could say it, but I can't because that's the rules.
I know. I understand.
So we can talk about it off camera.
Yes, and we will. And we will.
They're really cool thing. So we figured if we put 5 out there, maybe 2 will get picked up. You know, it's just kind of the odd thing.
Yeah,
or maybe
yeah.
all get picked up. Who knows?
Yeah.
But that's not. I'm not doing that. We're not trying to do that right now. But we just want to be. I've always wanted to be a director and a producer and all this stuff. And so now,
right.
I wish I want to do Ghost Adventures and work at the studios on something too. That'd be great. I never want to stop Ghost Adventures. I mean, I hope it's
right
20 years because it's just so fun. There's nothing like an adult rush getting scared out of your mind because something flew across or hit you or scratched you or and you get punched and you're like, nothing there.
Or picked you up and threw you 20 feet.
Yeah, right?
Dude, don't even get me started.
That's Goatman Bridge episode, and oh man, that thing was so bad. Like I have no idea. I just remember waking up. But the weird part is here's another thing. I don't think I've told anybody this, but the next 2 nights I had crazy alien spaceship. I was on a ship dreams. It was weird. Like they were working on me one night and I was laying there, but then I realized I was over them because gravity doesn't exist. It's up there. It was like this weird thing. And like, then I had this dream the next night where like I was signing a contract with them to hang out on the ship. And I was like, what the fuck? Right. But my whole point is why do I even have vivid dreams? So a small, like 0.05% sometimes thinks, was I picked up, beamed up, and then dropped back down? And that's how I got there. But then I don't know. Because all I know is I walked, I saw this crazy black shadow come at me. And next thing you know, I'm getting up off the ground 20 feet later. And my cameras flew out of my hand and everything. It was crazy. It was so crazy. I have to not think about it to actually be okay, because sometimes it's just
right. Yeah, you kind of get carried away with it. Man, it's so wild. That's awesome. I love that you're also writing and doing thinking up other shows. And
well, now I'm gonna start writing country music because I already gotten in.
I mean, if I can do it. Yeah, man, you already know a country singer, so that's honestly half the battle in this town. If you know somebody, I mean, the cuts that I had, like when I first got to town and I was here for 2 years, I made trips for 6 years prior, moved for 2 years. Then I got my first cut on probably the biggest record that came out that year, maybe that decade, on a Luke Bryan record. And it was all because I was writing songs with Cole Swindell, and Cole and Luke were best friends, which I didn't really know about. I mean, I knew they knew each other and grew up in the same town. I knew they were acquaintances. I didn't know that Luke walked him in and got him his first writing deal and was like listening to everything he was writing. I just ended up in the room through another friend who's like, you got to write with this guy from Canada, and I just went in and play. I a lot of my writes are, I often joke, like when I first moved to town, I was more of a melody guy because it was all the guitar playing and singing for me. But there's guys in the room that are just lyricists that just come in and write songs. They just throw you a lyric and I'll move it around and try and make it fit. And cool. But yeah, if you know a country singer, you could be a writer tomorrow. You just need to sign up at CSAC or BMI or ASCAP or whatever and just go. So yeah, you can do that.
All right, Quinn, I'm just gonna let you deal with the country and I'll deal with the ghosts. How about that?
Yeah. I love it. Is there something in your life that you must block time for? Okay, this is one of my favorite things because this is the one I've gotten good with. I take an hour. So I do these meditations. You mentioned meditation earlier. I do these meditations. They're by this guy named Joe Dispenza, and they are 1 hour long. And I've gotten really good. But what I do is I actually give myself like an hour and a half to 2 hours to do it, because I know that if I give myself the exact 1 hour to do it, while I'm doing the meditation, I'll be thinking of the next thing that I have to do.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, cool.
I get it. You do 2 hours, I do 3 hours.
Oh.
If I have to go film, I could get up in an hour and go. I need an hour to drink coffee and
right.
wake up and
Coffee,
get
yes.
ready. But it's become over the years, I need 3 hours to do it just in case. And it's like, what are you going to do in those 3 hours? But then I always find all this crazy stuff I got to do, or I don't.
Right.
Like,
Totally.
It's like, oh man, it's.
So yeah, so the question would be like, is there something that you block time out to, like more time out than you need?
Yeah, getting up in the morning.
Right. That's
like,
it.
Just get up and be a normal. Like when I'm at home, I kind of just get up and whatever. But when it comes to work or filming, or I have a ritual and I have to make time for this, otherwise it screws up my day.
Right. So you take 3 hours.
3 hours, sometimes 4. Like if I'm on the road, I cook my own food, and then there's an hour just in case. I know it only takes 20 minutes.
Just in case.
Food, but just in case.
Yeah, just in case. Like
if I gotta go to the restroom again, just in case.
Maybe you might have to. And you don't know what that restaurant stop's going to be like. That restaurant.
I don't do public restrooms, so it has.
Oh, you don't? No public restrooms.
No, like to go, number one, yeah, but like the other one, no. It has to be at my house, at the hotel. So it's like I got to give an extra hour, just in case, which never happens, but just in case.
But just in case.
One time I went to work and I was like, uh-oh.
You know what? I suppose that's better than the other side, because the other side would be like people who are just like that. People like this drive me bonkers, and like people in my band do this. It drives me nuts. I'm like, we got to leave at like 8 to like catch a plane or whatever. Why are you getting up at 7:45?
Yeah.
Why? What? In what world are you going to be on time if you get up 15 minutes before you got? And I know you were out drinking the night before, so don't give me that whole like, I slept in and I missed my. I'm like, no excuses. Actually, my band is always really good at being on time. I mean, there's a few instances where they're not, but I don't know how they do that. And maybe it's because like I don't drink alcohol anymore. And I can kind of be vocal about that. It was just sometimes not good. It's probably the worst thing for a country singer to be like, oh yeah, you drinking the Miller Lite or all of you drinking the Miller Lights in the front row.
You got to make an Dual song.
A what? I know Dual song.
They don't have one yet. Have one. There are those few that don't drink, and we'll be like, "Oh man, they never talk about O'Doul.
They never talk about them people." That's great. I love that, and I probably will. But I like so for me, it's like, but like I'm the same way. Like if I'm on the road, like I'm up at least an hour before, at least, than I need to be.
Yeah, I get to the airport way early just in case, and I don't.
Me too, 100%. Look, people are like, "Oh, you can get there an hour. You'll be through security." I'm like 2 hours. No, I'm always like that.
Yeah, me too. Because you never know. There's that one time
you don't know.
Like Home Alone where you're rushing to get on the plane and going and carrying all your stuff, and then you forget the kid.
And I hate rushing in airplanes. I hate in airports. Yeah. I hate it. Don't make me rush.
The worst is like in the airplane when you gotta go to the bathroom, you have to put one arm there just because you're not in turbulence. It's like you really got it, because you don't want to like make a mess, because then I feel bad because the lady has to clean it up. So you try to respect it and do your best.
Because I'm not. Yeah, because why would you clean it up? Yeah, it's not your job. It's not even my house. It's not even my mess. You clean it up. It's your plane. I love it. That's so great.
Of course.
And honestly, like, just thank you so much for like listening to music and sharing the music. You share I have a ton of like people who found me like that are like really good fans, like just people that listen, and it was all literally through you, where you were like, oh, I heard this song and I'm gonna play it, and then they would start following me, and they'd be like, oh, Aaron Goodwin told me about you, and I was like, that's awesome. So I truly appreciate that. It helps so much.
I'm so happy our names got mixed up so I could actually hear your music, because like we play pool or chill or do something or cards, and most of the time, because of my playlist, you are the first. We listen to your songs first, and then it goes to the other. You know what I mean?
It's awesome.
Yeah. And her and I can relate so much to the songs. It's just weird because it's to your Victoria, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, totally. Great. Well, that's so awesome, and like, I mean, obviously, what music is all about, and and this song, we just broke top 40 in Canada, so still trucking, and so we hope it does really well, and we'll post this interview. I can't wait for more country music people to get into what you're doing. because I think it's super cool. And in the craziest, somehow this is all gonna, it's all gonna cross at some point where our two worlds kind of collide. And I hope all the country music fans dive into the ghost adventures, and the ghost adventure people dive into country music. I think country
awesome.
music could probably be one of the most healing things.
Oh
after,
yeah, 100%. You
yeah.
listen, like, all honesty, like when I'm driving home, Jay's next to me. We're driving back from location, and your songs come on. He's not a big, he likes country, but he likes your music. He's like, dude, it's pretty good. I'm like, yeah, I know. And then it just calms us down, and we're just not thinking about stuff. It's relaxing. But
That's
then all of a sudden, you know, we ain't gonna take it. That one song, no.
Yeah.
Comes on later on. You're like, yeah. So it's like, it really is. It's like you gotta listen to old school 70s classics or some good country music will just calm you down from some stress.
Dude, I love it. And I love the education, you know, like that you tell people you love country music, and that it just goes such a long way for, you know, a guy like you with a ton of influence that can be like, hey, I like country music, you know. Yeah. And I think that that's such a cool, yeah, I love it. It's so great. Man, this was so awesome. I just really appreciate your time. I mean, we could talk for hours upon hours. Yeah. This was, I'm glad that we just went for it and didn't have any conversation before. I wanted to get, you know, this whole, obviously our paths have crossed because of our name, but I got a feeling we're going to be friends for a while. Maybe a long time.
So
yeah, exactly. And we're going to go to Disneyland. My wife and I have never been to Disneyland. So.
Oh my God. No, we were talking about the other day. We just can't wait till it's over because we were like, want to take you guys so bad. We've talked about it times.
It's going to happen.
We'll go do all the rides, and then we'll go up and chill and have a great day.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Fun. I can't wait. It's going to be great. I've only ever been to Disney World. I think she was at Disney. She might've been I can't remember. If she was really young and doesn't remember it. So it'll be like brand new experience. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And this is happening, man. We're going, you know.
Yeah. It's going to happen.
Yeah. It will happen. 100%.
It's going to happen.
So,
so awesome, dude.
We'll have to Zoom and talk besides recording. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, we'll do that now. We'll do that now. Now that we got this out of the way. But no, just thank you again, and thank you for taking the time to do this. We'll chat right directly after this. But this is so great. I'm going to stop this now. Thank you, Aaron Goodwin, for your time. You rock. Every time you take your time. No, you rock. No, you rock.